Hello, dear friends. Good morning on Thursday, the full moon day. So it's a big day. The energy is very intense. And also, this full moon comes with a grand cross. This is one of the complicated configurations we can have. Basically, the opposition between the sun and the moon, which is our full moon, is also connected with Pluto and Mars. So very interesting combination. Pluto and Mars are the two planets related to willpower. Mars represents our personal will, our ability to do things independently. Pluto represents more the collective will, things that we do either in a group of people or when it comes to something with maybe some kind of social impact, when when it isn't just for us. But both of those planets are in problematic aspects with the full moon. So there is a lot of tension, especially for the cardinal signs. So if you have important planets in Aries, Cancer, Libra, Capricorn, especially in the last degrees, then you're going to feel this tension even more. And what is important also, the lunar nodes. The lunar nodes are in the same signs as the full moon. It's not an eclipse because the distance between the nodes and the sun and the moon is too much. But it's still like, the same topics are being reactivated, the Libra Aries topics. And this is related to releasing any dependence we may have on other people. It could be like literally depending on others or depending on their opinions or their evaluations. Like it could be in different ways. And the North Node in Aries means that we need to rely more on ourselves to do things more the way we feel we should do it, the way we would like. It's like, to take a risk. But when we take a risk, there is always personal responsibility. When we do something with someone else, Libra, there is shared responsibility. Pluto is also about shared responsibility because we are not alone there. Aries is about, yes, you have the freedom. Yes, you can do what you want. You can take the risks, but you also should know that the responsibility is only yours. And this might feel uncomfortable because Mars is also weak. Mars is in Cancer. Mars in Cancer doesn't like big risks and too much personal responsibility. But on the other side, there is another interesting connection here. Mars and the moon are in what we call mutual reception. They are in the sign of rulership of the other planet. The moon is in Aries, the sign that Mars rules, and Mars is in Cancer, the sign that the moon is ruling. This is a very special type of connection, I would say, relationship between the two planets. And from one side, we may want to do something on our own. At the same time, we may feel like, but we still want to be accepted or to receive some kind of support from the environment. So here the balance is quite tricky and I would say difficult. But the most important to remember is that this tension that we are feeling can be used in a constructive way. Maybe not immediately, maybe things will need some time, will take some time, or we still need to maybe try with small steps. But there is a possibility to really change the way we express our own personal will. That's the main theme of this full moon. The moon is in Aries, where the North Node is. So we need to really look into the future. The North Node is the future. And what do we feel capable and willing of doing for our own future? Not to wait for somebody to do something for us or the universe or the environment or other people, but instead to initiate. And Yes, most likely, of course, we don't live on our own in this world. So being independent or doing something doesn't mean that you are cutting your connections with the whole world and it's like, you live alone on a different planet. That's not how it works. That's not possible. That's not healthy. But perhaps we should initiate, even if we want to have some kind of partnership or relationship, because we shouldn't like exclude this, but the initiative should be more on us. Or we should also focus on this: where is my personal responsibility for my own actions and my own choices? Not to blame it on others, not to say that, well, because of them, I can't do it or I don't want to, or but to focus more on where is my own responsibility. And to be honest, the full moon allows us basically to see literally the full moon, like the whole circle of the moon. That's the only time when we can see it. And that's why this is also a great opportunity to either complete something, to see like the full realization of something, like, like a culmination of something, or also to have more awareness. It's like we have the chance to see things more clearly within ourselves, like more awareness. So, for example, you may notice something about the risks you're taking or the responsibility you're ready to take with those risks, or maybe you are not ready to take. So what would you like to change in this area? So the square with Mars and Pluto can bring this tension and feeling like we want to change something, or there is some kind of tension from the outside world. The main solution, again, is more personal responsibility and also making smaller steps towards our future or what we would like to accomplish or develop or expand. So, but we shouldn't miss also one more thing, that except for this grand cross, which brings the tension, we also have a trine from Jupiter. Jupiter is trining the sun and has a sextile with the moon, which means that this could be, we call this a solution. The solution to this tension that comes with the full moon. And Jupiter, objectively, is not really strong right now. It's retrograde. It's in Gemini, which is a weak sign position. So that's why we should be positive and optimistic, but we shouldn't overestimate things. So that's why I also said that we should focus on the smaller steps, the smaller actions we can take, or the smaller risks that we can tolerate. It's not the time for, some kind of huge risks, and to, we have this expression to kind of to try jump over your head. It's like, to try to do something impossible, which is really beyond what you feel comfortable. Now, we shouldn't try to do this. We shouldn't try to jump over our heads. It's really about finding some kind of confidence, faith in ourselves, optimism, but without overestimating things, without overestimating ourselves. So it's better to try small steps and then to try the next one and the next one and the next one, rather than to try to kind of like escape reality with some kind of extreme optimism or overestimating what we can do. So more realistic perspective, more, I would say, groundedness, practical approach, and small steps, small, optimistic, positive steps. So happy full moon to everyone, especially to the cardinal signs. Again, if you have important planets in the last 10 degrees of Aries, Cancer, Libra, or Capricorn, then this full moon will be very, very important for you. So the other news I also want to share with you is that we will have a very special retrograde planets marathon. From November, there will be a whole chain of retrograde cycles. Mercury, then Mars, then Venus, then again Mercury, and this is all overlapping, and it will be a very, very interesting journey. So if you want to learn more about this and join our marathon, in which we will explore this within 4 sessions separately for each planet, and then all of them all together, then you can check the links in the description below and join our adventure. So happy full moon, dear friends, and I'll see you tomorrow.